Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Hugo, and today we're going to see what's going to be the best stocks for this week. We're going to have a view of what's happening on the market and also do analysis on the Bitcoin and as well on my portfolio. So now, stay around. Before we start the video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Only 6.2% of my viewers are subscribers, so don't forget to smash that button. So let's get back to the video. We're starting this week with the ticker LIB, LyondellBasell Industries. They provide advanced polymer solutions, and they are a refinery basically, and they develop products under oil in the industry per se. So they have a dividend yield of 4.95%. They pay quarterly, not quite quarterly, but they pay February, June, August, and November. They are undervalued 59.7%. The ex-dividend date is going to be on the 27th of November, so you're going to have time to buy this stock if you are interested. The financial health is 2G, so we have around 13 billion in assets and around 7 billion on liabilities, and the market sentiment we have a hold. The future growth is minus 9.2%, although they went down a lot in the past few weeks. And if you are interested in investing in this one, having in consideration the dividend yields, you will need at least to invest this as a long investment, not a short investment, because of the growth may not result in a positive future growth on upcoming months. So there's a bit of risk here because of the future growth of this company is minus 9.2%. Therefore, I recommend for a long investment, not a short investment, if you are willing to go for this type of stock and take into consideration the 4.95% of dividend yield, if it's worth it to have this risk. The next ticker is KHC, a really well-known company, Kraft Heinz company. They have a dividend yield of 4.53%. They pay quarterly in March, May, August, and November. They are undervalued 58.2%, which is good, and the ex-dividend date is going to be on the 24th of November. The financial health is G, so we have around 9 billion in assets and 8 billion in liabilities, and we have a market sentiment of a hold. The future growth is 6.6%, which is good, having in consideration the previous stock. So we'll be more keen, although they are completely different sectors and completely different industries, but I'll more be keen in go for a Kraft Heinz company. And actually, I bought this company in the past, and I'm thinking to buy again, but actually they went up a bit, as you can see in the graph as well. So although they are still undervalued 58%, so I still think it's a good stock to buy, even with the growth that we had in the past weeks. The stocks for this week and the ones that I'm going to mention, they pay monthly, so that's why I didn't went for a deeper analysis this week. You can see that on my previous videos. PSEC it's one of those who has the highest dividend yield with 8.07%. They pay monthly, as I mentioned, and the ex-dividend date is going to be on the 26th of November. Sorry. Then we're going to have the ticker PBI, Pembina Pipeline, with a dividend yield of 6.16%, and the ex-dividend date on the 23rd of November. And for the last but not the least, we have Main Street Capital with the ex-dividend date of 5.54%, which those two last stocks I have on my portfolio, and with the ex-dividend date on November 23rd. So now let's have a look into the market analysis and see what's going to happen this week on the Bitcoin and also on the US market. In terms of the SP500, we're going to have a rise of this week around 0.89%, with a support around the 4,684, as we can see around here. And we may see some targets around the 4,723 with the extension for the 47 and the $39, which I think is going to be a little bit of a stretch reaching this value. I do go more for the $4,700 than actually the $4,723 for the next upcoming week. In terms of alternative scenario, we're going to have a really strong support around the $46,084, which I doubt that will go down this week. We still have here the moving average, and at the moment we are still trading above the moving average. May result in a drop in upcoming week, although we do have the SRI where we are trading quite below around the 9 days moving average. So I do think the next upcoming week we're going to say around the between the 50 to the 7 of the RSI. In terms of the Bitcoin, we may see a rise of around 2,130 pips to 3,160 pips, positive increase for the next upcoming week. We may reach the new resistance of around the 60,000, although we had here a really big strong consolidation, but wasn't confirmed, so it went down. So we still have here a new consolidation, but this needs to be proved again. In terms of the RSI, we are above the 50, the MACD is below the signal line, but positive. The price is below the 20 period moving average, around the $58,560, but above the 50 days moving average, around the 58,345. So I do think we're going to see a positive week and probably a confirmation of the next support around the $58,490, going forward towards the 60,000. Although usually in December we have a decline, and we need to have that in consideration. So probably we're not going to reach the next resistance as the 60,000. So if you want to copy all my trades, now it's actually a good time, because my portfolio went down quite a lot, and you will be doing a really good deal since you're going to buy some stocks in the dip. As you can see here, this is my portfolio, and at the moment we are trading below the moving average of Nasdaq, but still above the SP500. And actually what had impact on my portfolio was the Bitcoin, which went down quite a lot, and these two markets, which was the Chinese market and the UK market, went down around 2.5% during this week. That's why my portfolio was quite affected. So if you're going to copy me now, this is going to be a really good time to do so. In terms of the portfolio performance for this week, as I mentioned before, the market went down around 0.6%, the US market, but the Chinese market and the European market went down around 2% during this week. So that's why my portfolio was quite affected, and as well the Bitcoin went down, was affected in around 2% during this week. So since inception, the profit and loss, we had 15% around the last week, and we reduced for 11.30%. The last 2 months return, we had a decrease from 40% to 37.94%. In terms of the top gainers for this week, we have Meta platform, which is Facebook, with an increase of 1.95%. We have Apple with an increase of 1.7%. We have GlaxoSmithKline with an increase of 0.8%. We have Unilever with an increase of 0.68%. And the ETF QYOLD with an increase of 0.68%. In terms of the top losers, we have British Petroleum with a decrease of 3.87%. And I do have quite stocks of BP. International Consolidated Airlines as well had a decrease of 3.6%. Com again had a decrease of 3.59%, and we went from minus 20% to minus 25% with Com. It's something that I'm still hanging on those, even the performance being quite awful. I'm still sticking with it. I'm thinking this in the upcoming year we're going to have some positive results with this one. And we have the ticker AMZA with a decrease of 3.53%, and Alibaba with a decrease of 2.25%. So as you can see, the top losers outperformed completely my top gainers, so that's why my portfolio went down quite a bit during this week. Other performance indicators, we have payments of PBA, Main Capital, ABVA, the ETF SDIV, Apple, and BATS, British Tobacco. We have new acquisitions, which is HPHD, which is one of the ETFs, high dividend yields ETFs, around 4% almost, where they have stocks on this ETF with low volatility. And now at the moment, the market as is the best to invest in, with stocks with low volatility, with high dividend yield, which is the best of both worlds. In terms of open orders, we don't have any. In terms of close orders, I did close 0.25% of Apple with a profit of around 48%. We didn't done any averaging this week. We have top payers AMCA. The top dividend yield is still QYLD with 11.8%. The portfolio is undervalued in 45.7%. So we have here an increase on the portfolio undervalued because of the stocks went down quite a lot during this week. In terms of future growth as well, this has impact because we had an increase from the last week around the 7% to the 8.1% this week. In terms of bad decisions, we do have the SPHD as a reference from the app that I use, which is the Delta Trader. When I bought this stock, they went down of around 0.72%, which is not much, but still it's considered as a bad decision. Although I don't think so, because this is going to be a really long investment for the SPHD, which I consider one of the best ETFs that we have on my portfolio. In terms of good decisions, we did have Apple with a sell where we got a profit of around 48%. So now let's have a look into the spreadsheet. So for this week, we have the payments of BATS over here. We have the payment of SDIV, the payment of PBA, main capital, and also ABVV for this week. And we also have here the payment of Apple. We do have the new acquisition, which is SPHD. So this is a new line that we have on my portfolio, which you can simulate by going to the total investment, and you can put the number of the value that you want to invest it with, and this will automatically calculate how much you're going to receive per month. As you can see here on the bottom, the results and how much you're going to receive per year. On the right corner, we're going to see how much an average we're going to receive per month, and you can see how is my portfolio diversified. In terms of the US stocks, we have around 56.8%, ETFs 22.7%, balance around 2.3%, Chinese stocks around 4.5%, crypto around 4.5%, and UK stocks around 9.1%. So these are the three big impacted during this week. So we have around almost 20% of these stocks impacted my portfolio during this week, because they went all down around 2.5%. That's why my portfolio went down around 2% this week. In terms of growth versus dividends, my portfolio has 25% of stocks in growth and the rest on dividends, almost 75%, which is why I consider this is the balance that I try to do on my portfolio. Therefore, my portfolio is quite strong in terms of dividends. One thing that I need to mention as well, you need to bear in consideration that these values that you're seeing here, it's already after tax, because the tax is being calculated in this column around here. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like, and see you next week. Cheers.